guys, what's going on? I think this should be my new thing that I do now, these voiceover slides. There's another thing I forgot to add on to the Chagrin Falls story with my girlfriend. So you probably remember we were at that restaurant, right? So my dad told me to check out this car, and what was behind me was this very sweet looking cherry red Ferrari. And I gotta admit, it was a very sweet looking car. It probably cost at least 90 to 100 grand. Keep in mind, you don't see these a lot in Ohio. This one had Florida plates on it. Yes, you see a lot of Ferraris, Lamborghinis, and other kinds of expensive cars down in the south in Florida, California, Georgia, wherever it is where there's a lot of popularity when it comes to Vegas and everything else. Of course, towards the end of the tour of the town, I came across this retro looking Chevrolet. Now I'm not sure what model this is, but I'm not sure what year. It could be either a 60s or 70s. Could be any of those decades. Behind it was a very badass car with a V10 in it according to the license plate. It was an Audi. Of course, I'm not sure if it was an R8 of some sort. Now, continuing on to the next current event, we were going to visit these people from Texas that my mom sold a house to. Meet Susan and Lee, a couple that moved all the way from Texas to here in Cleveland, Ohio. Yep, that's right, y'all. Texas. And just so you know, Texas is not dumb. The only thing I don't get though is why is Texas a shape of some kind of arrow pointing down to Mexico? Yes, it is home to one of the most awesome and smart people of SpongeBob SquarePants, Sandy Cheeks. Of course, they had all kinds of cool stuff. Western belts, and of course, Western outfits. And last but not least, this cool hook that you can use for keychains. And of course, it is actually made out of barbed wire used for horses and other kinds of farm animals. So we stayed for a while until we said goodbye, and of course we went to this beautiful sight of a lake. And let me tell you, Lake Erie sure does look like an ocean. I also got the sight of this beautiful sailboat just sailing in the middle of the lake. And let me tell you, when I see a sailboat in the lake and then get a picture of it, it really does bring you a lot of good, beautiful value to this pic. Here's a close-up of this guy. Very beautiful sailboat. I also got a picture of what appeared to be this abandoned coal plant just about probably at least a good 10 miles from here. It's either a coal plant or a factory. And to the right of the factory is actually steam from a nuclear plant in Perrysburg, Ohio. But yeah, what a beautiful view. So later in the month, we actually went to this dinner or else get together with this family called the Fittipatos, and of course we did a few things, I guess. So we ate dinner and we talked, and of course we listened to a lot of good music on, I think it was Amazon Music, I'm not sure. Believe it or not, they used to be our old neighbors when we lived back in the Rafford house. And then they actually moved this year to a new house, which is down the street from me. It's kind of crazy after I've pretty much dealt with a lot of neighbors in my life. Pretty much the two neighbors I know. Seems like every time we move, they move as well. And of course, they have a cute little golden doodle named Barkley. I gotta admit, for an old dog, it sure is hyper. Of course, I had the classic meal known as chicken nuggets and, of course, rally fries. And my brother Max, famous chocolate truffles made out of Oreos and, of course, chocolate dipping. It was rich, but it tasted so good. Few days later, on June 17th, 2020, we also had my family come over for, well, I wouldn't say, I don't know how to call it, I wouldn't really call it a housewarming, but it was more of a get together and to see the new house for the first time. And of course, my brother made this cake. It tasted real good. And of course, my family came over, and of course, they sat on the new deck that we love so much now that Dad power washed it a while ago. And we talked a lot about what's been going on lately in the world, and of course, we all know pretty much we can basically talk about politics sometimes, but that won't get us in the way anyway. And of course, my grandma and her boyfriend Denny were there too. My dad really made this delicious cold pork with barbecue sauce. I mean, it tasted real good. And of course, I had my brother's cake, which also tastes good as well. And of course, me, my brother Max, and my cousin Carly pretty much went in the hot tub and decided they wanted to try it out for themselves as well. It was actually easy for me to actually get in because it was a lot warmer out. Because usually in the winter time when it's real cold out, like freezing, it's really hard to be out there with just swim trunks and no shirt. Although the hot tub was at least 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Although check out this cool GoPro footage I did. What up everybody?
More like it's getting into my eyes.
Hey guys. What?
Maybe like hello.
What's up guys? What's going on? Yeah. Talk about 100. Talk about 104 degrees. Huh guys? Yeah. Is it nice or what? I should go in here more often. Flash Coraline and everything. Yep. Hang on. So. Oh, I'm trying to test this, see what it looks like underwater. Seems cool. Yeah. Probably nothing good down there, huh? The moles and everything. What?
What? I didn't go to Hawthorne Hills. Mom probably got the ride.
It's funny because I remember one time we were in this cabin, right? And they had a hot tub over there. And one time I got up and man, like I felt lightheaded.
Yeah.
It was like, you ever do that? Like, you know what I mean?
Something to your brain and sometimes people sleep in the hot tub and they die.
Okay. Yep, this is what a hot tub looks like. I know Yeah. And of course, I went there for like a few minutes. Maybe at least 20 minutes, I guess. So after a while, my family went, said goodbye, and of course they left, and then we hugged and all that. And of course, it's a good thing that COVID-19 would never stop me from hugging my family, of course, yeah. Craziest thing is that the Highland Heights pool was actually open, which is kind of interesting. However, they were only limiting the amount of people there to actually be there. You had to make an appointment, and yeah, very crazy summer. I can't believe it. I want to close it out by telling you I got this beautiful time lapse of the night sky. And let me tell you, unfortunately, at the end of it, it got a little foggy. Although I wish I wasn't near street lamps, I know there has to be a better place to see the full amount of stars in the sky. I would love to see the outline of the Big Dipper. And I also want to close it out by saying, yes, there are a few times where I ride on my bike in the neighborhood. And yeah, I guess that's it. I wish I would have had a full events, but unfortunately things have gotten pretty busy around here. My dad was working from home. He had to borrow this computer that I use to make movies all the time. And, it's been busy. I've been busy, I've been doing a lot of stuff around the house. I just haven't had time to actually, post videos, because, it's just been hard during these uncertain times to actually do that because, right now due to this COVID-19, I don't get a lot of downtime in the house anymore. So guys, thanks for watching, and don't worry, there will be news about upcoming events that I did pretty soon. I got my cousin Carly's graduation party coming up pretty soon. And you know what? I don't believe there will be events after that, except maybe 4th of July, but that's pretty much a question it might be hard to answer that question about what's going to be like during these uncertain times in the 4th of July. People probably won't be able to go out during the 4th of July this year to see fireworks. That's a pretty hard answer to pretty much answer. So anyway, thanks again for watching. Happy road, almost heaven.